acquainted with Divine Justinia, Cassandra?
I cannot claim to have known her well. Few can, except perhaps Leliana.
I envy even your slight acquaintance. By reputation, she was a formidable woman.
Justinia was a visionary. The Grand Clerics would never have chosen her had they known her intentions. And now they will never find someone to fill her shoes.
Oh, they will, darling. Even if they have to trim off her toes and heels to fit. You did not put yourself forward to lead the Inquisition while Divine Justinia was forming it.
The Divine wanted a heroic figure all of Thedas could rally behind.
How do you fall short of that description, my dear? Did you not single-handedly save the capital of Orlais?
That was hardly single-handed, Vivienne.
Yet still heroic. Many in the Empire remember you fondly.
A perception that would last until the moment they met me, I assure you.
Cassandra, dear. To many, you're a figure of awe. You should make use of that.
I use it in the service of the Inquisition, when I must.
But you don't seem to enjoy it. You really ought to have more fun, darling.
How is manipulating and bullying people supposed to be enjoyable?
I assure you, there are few pleasures comparable to restoring order with one's own hands.
Prefer to have the Templars return to guarding the circles, Vivienne.
Of course, my dear. They need better oversight, clearly. But one does not throw away a tool because it was misused.
Few mages would ask for Templars in the circle.
Speak to Ferelden's first enchanter. You might be surprised. When abominations ravage your tower, suddenly the world holds far too few Templars. Thus far, Seeker, but you could stand to be slightly more amiable.
Were you not suggesting earlier I should be more intimidating?
Of course, darling. One must never be too charming or people lose respect. Too intimidating, however, and you'll never be invited to anything. Then you may as well be dead in a ditch.
If I am never invited to another Orlesian salon, I will consider that a success.
The game is played to the death, my dear. Like it or not, you are part of it. Anna is a candidate for Divine. It's hardly surprising. She plays a pretty game.
She is also a woman of strong convictions and great faith.
A statement one could make about any wide-eyed lay sister. The Divine stands apart. She must command respect and attention, or she will accomplish nothing. Which means we have two fine candidates, wouldn't you agree?
The decision rests in the hands of the Grand Clerics.
Such modesty.
The Chantry needs to change, and I would see it done, but if I am chosen, then I pray it is the Maker's will and not ambition that guides me there. Truly see me playing the game, Vivienne.
Not now, perhaps, but you could.
Wearing ball gowns and painted masks, decking myself in jewels and curtsying to suitors.
It is a battle, my dear. The armor and the weapons differ, but just as much blood is spilled.
I never thought of it quite like that.
You are a warrior, Cassandra. You'll be one whether you dress in steel or lace.
About what you said before, Vivienne.
About my suggestion that you play the game.
The ball at Halam Shiral reminded me how much I hate all of it. Me, in a dress? It's ludicrous.
Don't sell yourself short, Cassandra.
Oh, not you too.
I suggest a vibrant red, darling. Not too deep in the neckline, mind.
Ugh.
At the Winter Palace.
When I punched the wall, perhaps.
Not the most distinguished impression, certainly, but given your discomfort, I expected worse.
I did not realize it took so little to exceed your expectations.
Come, my dear, there's no need to be touchy. You will do far better next time. See the value in restoring the circles, Cassandra.
Provided they fulfill their purpose. Too many have suffered since the Mage Rebellion began. But we cannot ignore the abuses that prompted it. Without change, we risk repeating the events at Kirkwall.
Or recreating its opposite. An overly lenient circle is a comparable threat. Kirkwall was lamentable, but it was the blithe misuse of power, not restrictions, that led to the first blight. Armor with gilding, or dragon scales, preferably both.
Would that not be impractical?
It would be dramatic, my dear. Half the value of armor is intimidation.
I prefer the half that keeps blades out of my innards, personally.